Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil, slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen?
What's crack-a-lagging?
I thought you were going to say yabba dabba doo then.
Yabba dabba doo.
You pushing out a shit or?
Yeah, no, it was. Do you want to see it? I got some photos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one. You got to take the photo before you wipe, though, so you don't get covered in toilet paper.
Don't get me too excited.
Oh, look out, look out. Well, welcome to another episode of Send It Mate podcast. I am Ryan.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Josh.
Woo! And we are at Season 2, Episode 19.
What? That is fucking intense.
It is. No, well, I mean, it's not literally fucking intense.
Yeah, we don't fuck intense.
No, we fucking swags because we're men.
That's actually my favourite joke, by the way.
Well, fucking intense.
Yeah, it's how does it go? Have you ever had sex camping? It's fucking intense.
That's your favourite joke.
Dad joke.
It's a good joke.
It was a good
Simple.
It's the sort of the joke you tell your like 17-year-old son.
joke. And he's like, oh, but you tell your 13-year-old son, and he's like, oh, that's right. You tell your 6-year-old son, and he thinks it's hilarious, but doesn't know why. And then you get a letter from the teacher.
Yeah.
But
I'm actually surprised how much kids are like sponges, man. I played a song this weekend when we were doing a bit of a group shoot at my place, and Caleb, your kids were there, and this song had some naughty lyrics to
some
it.
profanities.
And your daughter just turns around and goes, Josh, Uncle Josh, that song's disgusting. It's got naughty words in it. I'm like, okay.
Correct.
I can barely hear the music because I'm deaf. So I was like, how did you even hear that?
Yeah, so to them, it's like just imprinting on their brain.
Do you know when I've had the podcast on in the car, I thought, I can maybe listen to this first little section. There'll be no swear words in it. And then I'm like, no, there's a swear word coming up. Turn it off. And they're in the car. And they're like, oh, why can't we listen to it, Dad? I'm like, there's some bad words in there. And then now they're like, oh, we can't listen to the podcast, Dad. Uncle Josh says some naughty words. So it's squarely with you.
It's so true. Like, when we were around my base the other day, you're like, I think you let off like 6 or 7 profanities, and then all of a sudden realised what you were doing, and then because my son was sitting on directly opposite you, just absorbing everything, just as they do.
Look, from a position where I don't have children, like you don't realise how much it's just in your everyday vocabulary. And it's a sign of intelligence, mind you. Thank you, Netflix.
What? How?
I don't know.
I'm smart. Netflix told me I am.
I don't know how. But
your first
Netflix did this doco on swear words, and apparently it's a sign of intelligence. I'm like, fuck yeah.
To use them.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, my son knows the difference between a word he can use and a word he can't. If he says it, he gets barked at. He knows he can't use that word.
Just wait till he's like 16 and starts.
If
having
he's
a
in
mind
it
of
like
his
his
own.
old man, he's going to have an absolute fucking potty mouth. It's going to be awesome.
I hate it how I get blamed.
No, it's naughty Uncle Josh.
I get blamed. That's
Yeah. That's what uncles are for, mate.
terrible.
That's
You
it.
know what? They seemed like they were having a good time when I cracked out the old Scotch finger biscuits for them.
Yeah, they thought they were
and
fucking sick.
the chicken shapes, they thought I was king.
They're children. They like food.
That's all right. I'll take it, even if it was only for a few hours.
Well, funny you should mention that because that leads us into this week's POI
yeah,
quite
that's
nicely.
right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we did. We took your two girls and my boy up to Josh's place for a bit of a plink session.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is good.
It was the first time you had your girls out.
First time for my girls.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. They took onto it really well.
Yes. They loved it.
That was great.
They were raving about it. So yeah, they've never shot a rifle of any description. So we had the air rifles out and we had the 22.
Which you skipped the air rifle and went straight to the 22.
Well, initially, because I'm like, I'm not showing them on this piece of crap. So we went through all the safety drills.
Bit of a backstory on that air rifle. So Caleb bought my old 22 and the conditions came that he had to take my old air rifle because it's a piece of shit as well.
Yep. So I paid the $40 transfer fee.
That's the Gamo one where we were trying to figure out if it's soft.
The what one?
Is it Gamo?
Gammo!
Let's go with Gamo.
Gamo?
Who said Gabo? I'm
Or
like,
Gabo?
what the fuck?
Gamo.
Gammo,
Gammo.
yeah.
Gamo, yes.
Gamo. Yeah.
Look, the system itself is fine. It's just the sights. Those sights, you were messing around with them when we were at my place this weekend. So those sights, the rear sight is actually on a spring, like internally. Now, you think that's just to hold pressure. Now, yes, it's to hold pressure down on the top cap of the rear sight, but it's also so it's designed so if it's hot or cold, that the spring and the will obviously what's the word?
It compensates
Yeah.
for movement in the expansion of the steel.
Yeah. So there's an actual reason why it's made like it is, but because it's made like that,
It's fucking shit.
it's shit. Like I had when I was growing up an old Telly air rifle that just had your rear sight was just tack welded on. That was it. And it worked a lot better than trying to compensate for extreme weather conditions.
It is good fun though, because you never know whether it's going to be on or not. And we were taking pot shots from 15 meters, and sometimes you'd be on it, and sometimes you wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a good fun thing to do to just
was.
adjust it and try and get it right. But
Actually,
I've not put any time into it whatsoever.
Actually, this brings me to another point on this weekend, which Caleb's clearly drawn the line at in Send It Mate podcast on this issue. Anyway, Ryan has a little, is it a Crossman?
Yeah, it's a Crossman.
It's a Crossman and it's a little CO2 canister that you put in, but it holds 10 rounds?
Yeah, it's
10 or 11
a 17 air rifle, so 0.17. Was it 0.177?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it holds, I think it's 12 shots.
12 shots.
12 shots, yeah.
And technically it's a semi-automatic. So what I thought we'd do, and we all sort of got into the groove, we thought we'd put a few targets out on this short little run, real close, nothing crazy because the air rifle maybe shoots 3 meters before it hits the ground anyway. But anyway, then we did like a bit of a sneaker lane. So you move to a point, shoot a few targets, move to another point, shoot. Anyway, I have photo evidence of Caleb enjoying shooting a semi-automatic
I was going
weapon.
to say, was he smiling? Because if he was smiling, then
It's
he's
basically
fucked.
a toy. Like it's
Oh,
basically
it is a toy.
it's
marketed as
basically a
toy.
gel blaster that shoots pellets.
It
Like
does not matter. It's a semi-automatic rifle.
in fact, I'd
that
rather be
you
shot
enjoyed.
with that thing than a gel blaster. It'd probably hurt less.
I don't know, it was like 12 meters. It wouldn't go through a Macca's coffee cup. So there's not much power behind that bad boy.
Yeah, no, it's the principle.
It's the principle,
I'm
is it?
I'm sticking to the principle of it.
It is good fun, though.
And I saw the enjoyment that you had of it.
I mean, I used to like going paintballing. It's the same thing.
Which you're allowed to buy, by the way.
Well, there you go. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, that was fun, granted. But the most enjoyment I got out was getting the girls up there to learn. And I put a lot of time in before we actually went up there talking to them about the safety because they're only 5, so they have to understand that it's quite a serious thing we're doing and that you can't muck around and there's no second chances when it comes to safety. So
There's 2 of them as well, and they both feed off each other.
yeah,
So it's very difficult to be behind the rifle. Like I noticed that you were behind the rifle with one of them and the other one was watching, and then length of time you could see her mind just start to wander because she was a little bored, or because you weren't your focus was on one child, not both, because
Yeah.
you couldn't
can't.
really juggle
No.
it up.
Well, they get jealous of each other, and then also once they get a bit of confidence up, they start thinking they can just do it. So, yeah, there's a lot of
What do you do to show them what happens to a... Did you put a coffee cup up or something like that?
yeah. I mean, just as a safety sort of a visual demonstration, we wanted to show them. It was Josh's idea, actually. It was a good idea. Wanted to show them what happens and why you don't muck around with rifles because they're dangerous. So we wanted to show them what happens when the bullet actually hits something and it explodes. So Josh had bought 3 coffees up and you were taking your sweet time to get there as usual.
As
so
I do.
the coffee was cold, so we actually put the coffee cup out and full of coffee. So we got the girls to watch and we said, imagine if this was your leg or someone's leg standing in front of this rifle and Daddy's going to shoot it. So I shot it and the thing exploded everywhere.
It worked better than what I thought it was going to, because like you shoot a can and the pressure in the can releases and obviously goes up, but it was just an unpressurized coffee cup.
So they saw the explosion and the coffee go everywhere, and we brought the cup back and showed, well, this is where the bullet went in and this is where it came out and blew a massive hole. And imagine if you accidentally shot someone's leg, what would happen? And it was just a very good teaching tool to show them visually what would happen. And this is why you don't muck around. So they'll remember that forever.
Yeah, and you could see that it sort of it ingrained itself into their head. You could see the kids after that. They were like,
Yeah, it sunk in because initially we were just shooting, metal targets 50 meters away. Yeah. And it's like, that sort of noise and explosion happens down there and something gets hit and it moves and blah, blah, blah. So I think that's impact sort of drove the point home a little bit with them.
That's good, mate. It's good,
but they had good fun. They were absolutely raving about it. They loved it. So
that's good. I got photos the first time I took archer shooting. That was where was that? Tinny.
Yeah.
Best time ever.
He took to it very well, man.
Oh shit, yeah, and the kid's a good shot as well.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think kids, like, teaching them young is a good thing, not a bad thing. Dad taught me when I was 6, and like shooting teaches you discipline, teaches you respect, it teaches you to concentrate.
yeah, that's good, man.
It definitely is.
Oh well, why don't we move on to today's title? I think that's you, Joshy boy.
Yeah. So for this week's episode, we actually have creepy crawlies.
Creepy crawlies.
So we've touched on this many times in the podcast on, I'm sure, some conversations that will happen, but
we're not referencing you, Josh.
you creep.
You're the sex pest, Caleb.
I object to that label.
Well, yeah, you don't want to put things in a box. You like to have them flow.
I definitely don't object to you being that
As in you like me being a sex pest? Is that
No,
what
I
you're
think
saying?
it suits you perfectly well, to be honest.
So Josh is the creepy crawly and Caleb's the sex pest, and together they work wonders.
What a duo.
Yeah, the dynamic duo.
The sex pest and the wingman. Anyway, no, well, I'm away first today, and I'm not going to attempt one of my ridiculous breakdowns or anything like that. Any of my far fetched. Did someone just spill port on the carpet?
Nope.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Nope. Did not happen. Did not happen.
Well, anyway, that aside. So, creepy crawlies,
bad one.
I'm just going to keep it simple. There's been a couple of instances out hunting where I freaked the fuck out from a creepy crawly. And probably the worst one for me.
It's really his dick. His dick
Yeah,
moved.
oh my God, what is it? It's in my pants.
He's like, fuck.
He's been out for 5 days, and where he's shaved his nutsack, it's prickly, and it's just like scraping on the side of his leg.
You're first. So you get to cover this time.
I love going first. This is why I'm keeping it simple. Anyway, so
Just like your penis.
simple but effective.
That's simple. What? Yeah, there's a real simple penis. What the fuck does that even mean? Is it a compliment?
I don't know what it means, but it's provocative.
Just once, I'd like an episode to exist without reference to dicks. Just one.
You reckon chicks like get together with their girlfriends and like, what was his dick like? She's like, oh, it was real simple.
Oh,
Like,
They
Ooh,
do though.
nice.
Fucking oath, they do.
100%.
I can tell you this for a fact that they do. They go and talk about that shit in detail.
Caleb's been rated -3.
Yeah, but it's real simple.
Easy to use, but not satisfactory.
I prefer the term utilitarian.
Shit. Oh. I haven't laughed this hard for a while.
Anyway, if I can talk about my creepy crawlies. So I think in terms of freaking out from a creepy crawly, the worst instance happened to me. We're in New South Wales, actually, camping. And the campsite we're in, there was a fair bit of leaf litter around. And I was sort of backed up against a big log. And
You had a log backed up?
oh, God.
Is that what it was? That he backed up against a log?
My swag was backing up onto a log. Now,
So you put your swag in shit.
what are you two on?
Oh, shit.
Why?
You know why?
What have I done to you?
It's our third glass of port.
That's after having 2 bottles of wine.
Maybe something.
Anyway, I'm sorry. You were sleeping in shit. And then what?
Yes, totally. Now, when I put my swag out, I generally like to have a nice ground sheet. So I put my big canvas mat out, which is about, 4 square meters. So I thought I was relatively safe from having any creepy crawlies come out of the leaf litter into my swag. But I left the fly screen open on my swag for, maybe half an hour while I was dicking around, brushing my teeth.
I just want to
You
point out.
left your fly open and you were dicking around.
I want to point out how precious, you have a swag which has a bottom on it, and then you put another fucking thing down to put your swag on.
So you can stand on it when you're getting undressed.
So
and
it's not
shit.
under your
You can't
swag.
stand on the ground.
It's under my swag, so I don't have to lift dirt and leaves and shit into my swag when I step in it.
partially on the under the swag, and then it's like a little doormat.
Yeah,
Little doormat.
what's wrong with that?
It's a doormat.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Anyway,
As soon as it rains, it just turns to shit.
No, he's already put his swag in shit.
That's true.
what it did do was cause me to relax too much and leave my fly screen open.
You let your guard down
I let my
Safety
guard
never
down.
takes a holiday.
whilst you were laying on a log.
So anyway,
His fly was open and he was dicking around, laying on a log.
all right, at this point I just power through and ignore. I'm just going to switch into dad mode and ignore the annoying noises. Annoying children. Right, so
This is gold.
I left my fucking fly screen open on my single swag, got ready for bed, got in, settled down for the night, light off, and then I hear this little all over the fucking top of my swag. I hear this
Oh, like legs.
little noise like this.
You can hear
Yes.
that shit.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
can-
deaf like you.
You can hear that, but you can't hear us talking 2 meters from you.
I sleep well. No, I've just got into the swag for the night, switched off my headlamp, laid down, eyes shut, and then I hear this little scratching noise like this. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck is that? Is it on the outside or is it on the inside? So I've switched the light back on, looked up, directly above my head is a huntsman on the inside of my single swag, and I'm zipped in, like double zipped in with this huntsman.
That'd be like
Cage fight.
a hand width from your face.
Yes, like a hand width from my face. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get this open, get that thing out? And
Which swag?
the single.
The single.
The single.
Oh, so you literally were like a foot,
Yeah,
less than a foot
like
away.
if it was the double swag, I'm like, whatever, I'll just open a side, get the thing out. But single swag, like open eyes, it is directly above your head, and you've got 2 lots of zips to undo to get out.
What was his name?
I don't know. What do you fucking ask me that for? Harry the Hunt. We'll go with Harry the
I was going
Huntsman.
to say Harry.
All right, well, I'll refer to him as Harry from now on. So there was an awkward moment with Harry and I where I had to open.
Well, you realised you were laying on a log.
Oh, leave him. He's gone. All right.
You just, and you fly over and you're dicking around with
What is this? Is just descended into the depths. Of fucking.
Shit.
Was Harry hairy or shaved?
He was quite hairy. He had a lot of eyes on me at all times.
Yeah.
He was a voyeur. He was
a
watching me.
voyeur.
I don't sleep with clothes on, so
Was a real story like you got in there, you turn your headlamp off, you powered up your incognito mode, and then by the light of your phone, you looked up.
This stage he's got a third pole holding up his swag too.
Because it was fucking intense.
Harry's just the top corner of my swag, fapping with 8 legs,
That's what you heard.
just doing this 8-legged
No, he was
wank
using
in the corner.
6 because he propped himself up with 2 of them.
Anyway, so then became the awkward task of trying to unzip the fly screen without this spider moving, Harry,
Harry the fucking spider.
undoing the outer canvas zip. All like I did this at the slowest of fucking paces, just so I didn't disturb the thing. So then I've flipped over, got out of, like got my body out. So I'm just kneeling in my swag with the spider there,
Naked.
naked.
Next minute, something flew up your asshole, and then Harry jizzed on your face.
Wait, did it cross your mind just to squish it? Like, did
No, because what I didn't want to have, you know, when you try and squish a huntsman and you fuck it up and it just goes everywhere.
and Harry freaks the fuck out.
And plus, the other thing, I was like, I hope it's not one of those huntsmen, which is actually a harriet, not a Harry, that has the fucking sack of babies on the back. Because I don't know if you ever killed this huntsman
Yes.
and then just 1,000 babies just explode everywhere. I'm like, I'm not taking that risk. So anyway, I managed to get myself most of my top half out of the swag. I'm just kneeling in it. And then I sort of just like got a stick and flicked him out the opening. And yeah, crisis over. But fuck, creepy crawlies in a camping setting, in
This
a
is-
confined space, not a good idea.
This is something that I'd actually like to put back on our listeners. What's your worst creepy crawly story?
Yeah, like send them through. So the lesson I took out of that was at no point leave your fly screen unzipped.
Yeah.
Well, this brings me to actually to my topic, but yeah, I can relate to that definitely.
Oh, why don't you go straight into yours?
Well, you can if you want.
Go on.
No, no,
perfect,
no.
perfect
No, we'll wait till you
segue.
finish.
Are you done?
I mean, I've squeezed everything out of that I can.
So have I.
The only other thing I wanted to touch on in terms of creepy crawlies, other than to say orb spiders
Apart
are
from
fucking
Harry.
bastards.
You didn't want to touch.
I didn't want to touch Harry.
Okay.
Because he was hairy.
Orb spiders are bastards when you're walking through the bush and you walk through their
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
webs and leeches. Now, we've talked about leeches on the podcast a few times. Now, I got a leech bite probably
Again.
how many?
Leech bite
2 months
again.
ago, Ryan? Our last trip you and I went on,
yeah.
month and a half.
Oh, yeah, about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
And again, as Josh has mentioned, blousy pants, so they don't have any way to crawl up there. But I got done again. got the thing off straight away, like bled a fair bit. And I didn't actually notice until was getting into bed for the night and noticed my leg was bleeding everywhere. And there's just this fat leech, which is basically dropped off because it drunk all the blood and it was that full. So anyway, I cleaned it up the best I could just with some like baby wipes and washed it off. It wasn't, completely sterile. But anyway, for 3 weeks after, it got an infection in it. And like it's probably 3 inches across, this area of like purpley red, like mottled blood around the actual bite.
I kind of want to go to one place about this.
Where you want to go? Disneyland.
Sure, it wasn't just AIDS.
Was it?
I'm not even going to grace that with a response. But anyway, my body fought off the infection without antibiotics. Hooray. But
Good.
fucking hell, every time I've had a leech bite, I've had this crazy like,
Yeah, it's their saliva, isn't it?
it's got bacteria and funkin' shit.
Yeah, and then blood thinners in it as well.
Isn't that funny? Because then they used leeches for medicinal reasons.
I feel like it's a controlled environment though. Like clean it off, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Not,
that's true.
I'm like day 3 of a 4-day hunt. I'm covered in shit. I haven't showered in 3 days. I've only got baby wipes to clean the wound. No antiseptic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
I just rub some dirt in it and moved on.
Like, for those playing at home, so a leech lives in like rainforesty environments, and they little
Damp
fuckers,
environment.
Damn, yeah.
yeah, like damp environments. So they like hide under the foliage and
The foliage. Foliage?
Yeah, that's foliage.
Stagnant water.
The
and
leaf
things.
litter.
The leaf
Like,
litter, yeah.
just the
So if
damp,
you're sitting down,
moist,
little fuckers
wet-
climb up your pants and down your pants and in your pants and
I keep saying this. Blouse your fucking pants. You blouse.
what?
Blouse your pants.
What does that mean?
Well, mate, we've had this conversation. On
Tighten a
Sunday.
drawstring around the bottom of your pants.
Blouse your pants.
Blouse, yeah.
So like seal up the bottom of your cuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't fucking do it I've never had a leech on me. Oh,
Yeah,
no, sorry, I've had one on me, but never had one bite me.
I've never had one on me.
Have you had one
because
in you?
I've bloused my pants.
I've had many things in me.
Have you had slimy, phallic-looking objects inside you, Ryan?
Of course, haven't you?
Can't say I have.
I don't know about the slimy bit. I mean, slime is a bit subjective, isn't it? You know, what are you talking about? Like
Well, it's down to
dripping?
personal hygiene, isn't it?
Yeah, and how much spits on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is digressing, so I'm just going to move straight into my
Yeah, feel
topic.
free to butt in, Josh.
But yes, I will. So it's funny you mention your little rendezvous with old Harry because I wanted to touch on something that happened to me as well. Now, I'll tell you the story first before we go into it. But in the army, I was out on exercise one day, actually in Darwin, and everything was all good. You know, like finish up for your night, you do your night routine, you know, you get ready to do your picket or whatever. Then once you've done your picket, you go back to bed.
What are you picking?
Which your nighttime picket routine was having a wank.
Yeah.
Wank on the gun. Yeah.
Yeah, you shut off your night light, you fire up your incognito mode. And by the light-
Wanking with night vision, mate. Looking at your dick with night vision. You're like, whoa.
Did you guys share night vision goggles?
No.
Was it like
No,
you're
you
looking
just-
down and some dude's just like copped the hit to the face and he hasn't wiped it off? You're like, what is that on the
What
No.
does semen look
Yeah,
like in night vision?
You had your personal night vision,
Okay.
but it was more like they had 30 pairs and then you got, for each trip, you got issued a pair. So it was your own pair or your own, sorry, not pair, it was your own monocular for the trip. So it could have and may well have just had crusty old Siemens.
Yeah, there's
Who
definitely
knows?
some cum stains in that.
But anyway, I went to bed that night after finishing my picket and I hadn't put up my coochie or anything like that because I don't know if anyone's been in Darwin or if anyone lives in Darwin, but it's fucking hot. And unless it's the wet season, you kind of use your sleeping bag not for warmth, but to keep mosquitoes off you. And I hadn't put up my mosquito net either, so I just rolled me sleeping bag out and just like hunkered down for the night. Anyway, the next morning I wake up, straight away is stand 2. So, you know, you get up, you pack your shit away, and then you go to stand 2.
What's stand 2?
So stand 2 is, so you have pre-designated, I guess, spots in a harbour,
To stand.
which you've got to go to, and you lay down behind your weapon, and you have,
So,
you know,
hang on. You lay down in stand 2.
so it makes no sense. So,
It doesn't.
So-
This is why
I'm having trouble
This is why
following.
we're asking.
it's called stand 2. Anyway, so you lay down and you basically have a period between where it goes from dark to light, where you are visually looking out and, like, obviously using your hearing and things like that as well, just to make sure that your harbour hasn't been breached during the night. Anyway, when I woke up, I was like, wow. Actually, this particular morning, we woke up and it was later, like it was already sort of light. So I woke up and I was like, fuck, there's something in between my legs because it was really, really warm.
Yeah,
And I
it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
warm,
slimy.
it was warm.
Was there a light sucking sound as well?
No, so I woke up and I was like, what the hell is that? And next thing you know, it just starts moving.
Just an ex-girlfriend has just rocked up again.
No, it was just Harry.
No, it was bigger than Harry.
Harry's the machine gunner. He ain't no spider.
Anyway, I've looked down as this thing's moved on, like, between my legs on the sleeping bag.
Sounds
and
like an erotic novel.
this massive snake just fucking like, just
you found a snake between your legs.
yeah, it suddenly just fucking like spears off my between my legs and out into the bush, and I'm like, holy fuck. A snake had just curled up between my legs for the night, other than my dick. An actual snake.
I mean, snake is a stretch.
Skink.
Skink. Leech.
Anyway,
Pre-blood sucking.
like, thinking about creepy crawlies, it brought me back to this experience that I had, and I thought, oh, okay, snakes are obviously a very, very big, a very common thing in Australia, but we really don't take the time out, like none of us, not one of us, take the time out to do any snake prevention or carry snake bite bandages with us or anything like this.
Yeah,
So-
but I stomp a lot.
Yes, you're right. So you make noise and that'll obviously deter the snake in a lot of cases. So when you're walking around, but when you're hunting and you're stalking, you're trying to obviously make as little noise as possible. So suddenly snakes do become a bit more prevalent. So I just wanted to go through the types of snakes first that we have in Australia, because there's one particular snake that I didn't think was venomous that is fucking venomous. So
So when we were fucking around, swinging a snake around, throwing it at each other, going out, woo, it's a good time. We could have died.
yes, pretty much. So we have the eastern brown snake, obviously. We have the western brown snake. We have the
Southern brown snake.
tiger snake and the mainland tiger snake. We have the Indian taipan. We have the coastal taipan. We have the mulga snake.
Mulga?
Mulga.
Mulga.
We have the lowlands copperhead. We have the small-eyed snake, which is something that Caleb's got between his legs. We have the common death adder,
What are you talking about? An anaconda?
and we have the red belly black snake. Now, when I was doing my research about this week, my whole entire life have gone through and I've picked up so many of these fucking snakes thinking they're not fucking poisonous, and that's the red belly black snake.
Are you
What the
serious?
fuck? That's like the first snake I got taught was poisonous.
Yeah.
Nah, I honestly, I can't remember who, but when I was young, someone had said they're not poisonous. So I was like, oh,
Wasn't
okay.
Poiter, was it? Sounds like something Poiter would say.
It probably was, to be honest, man. It was probably old Poiter. And look, I couldn't believe it because I've encountered, actually the last time I encountered a red-bellied black snake, I almost stood on one on our last trip to Gippsland. I was
Really?
out by myself and I had my 22 and I was just going around for some funnies during the day. And it was right by the two dams
Oh, yeah.
at this particular property, private property in Gippsland. And I didn't even realise. And I've gone to take another step, and then I thought it was a stick flicked up, and it wasn't. This snake actually stood up and fucking struck at my boot, and then it just suddenly fucking wiggled off. And that day I was like, I need to start doing some preventative measures for snakes, like get some gaiters and start carrying some snake bite bandages or something. But I never have because, I don't know, they're just something that I've learnt to go, okay, they're there, whatever.
Maybe you should just grow some more so your vitals aren't in striking distance of the snake.
That's true. Having said that, so a snake's venom does not go through the bloodstream. It actually travels through the lymphatic system on the body. So this was going to bring like another point that I could share, which is pretty common to like common knowledge, but something that I could share to the listeners, and that is if you do get bitten by a snake, it's actually the way you deal with it is pressure and mobilization. So what you want to do is essentially you don't have to identify the snake anymore. They actually do have a universal anti-venom, and then that'll work whilst they test for the venom. So the venom obviously denotes what snake it is, and then they can give you the actual correct anti-venom. Anyway, pressure and mobilization is simply you want to, say if you get like bitten on the leg, you want to not move. So moving is the worst thing that you can do. Obviously, you want to remove yourself from the danger of the snake. That's probably the first thing that you want to do. But then you want to sit down. You want to keep calm, and you want to stop moving. Then you want to get some sort of pressure bandage and wrap immediately from the bite, like to the end of your limb, and then back up. Whilst you do that, you want to mark the bandage of where the bite side is, and then you want to keep doing that. So if you've got a few bandages, you want to cover the whole limb, and from there you want to splint your limb to prevent movement. That's the only reason for splinting, is because you don't want your limb to bend or move or anything like that. And then you want to first thing that obviously you want to do is call for fucking help. Naturally.
Yeah. Keep calm.
Keep calm and call for help. And then do your pressure bandage and splint it, and then sit down. Having said that, if you're not within help, I would suggest fucking, if you've got a phone, calling your emergency services or something like that.
Well, thanks, Dr. Josh. You're like a fucking oracle tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for those following at home, your lymphatic system is your lymph nodes, which might be a familiar word for some people, and your movement is what presses the fluid between that system. So that's why you don't move, because it ends up pushing the poison through your body instead of keeping it localized to the limb.
Yeah.
Have you two forgotten the last snake we came across?
No. Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Brown-
That was an eastern brown snake.
Brown snake. And something I actually was encouraged by on that particular day was something that my old man taught me, like very early, like I would have been 5 or 6, because the property I grew up in the hills in Adelaide, there was a natural spring up behind the house, so there was a lot of red belly blacks and brown snakes around the place. And it just stuck in my head because it was one of the first things he taught me, which was if you go and lift up something that snakes like to sleep under, always make sure you lift the edge furthest away from you and lift it up towards you rather than lift the closest edge.
Yeah, so it creates a barrier.
So it creates a barrier between you and the snake. So on that particular day, there was this big table in the middle of the field.
It was upended.
And someone upended it towards themselves in the correct manner, and then underneath was a big-ass brown snake.
It was fucking
coiled
massive.
up.
Yeah, it was pretty big. I tried to pick it up and it struck. But
Yeah.
Josh loves to touch a snake.
I really do like handling
I do.
snake-like.
Brown
probably
ones.
not the smartest decision. Having said that, you are right, creating that barrier, and obviously, if you see a piece of fucking corrugated iron on the ground out bush, don't go picking it up.
Yeah, well, it just reflects heat, and it's a perfect spot for a snake to go under and get a bit of radiated heat.
What is it true? I think it's like out of the top 10 deadliest snakes in the world, Australia has 5 of them or something like that.
Well, those 10 snakes that I just rattled off before are all poisonous, and they're all found in Australia.
Yeah. Like Australia's like, we got little things that
We got
fuck
most of
you up.
the top ones, most of them.
Yeah.
Australia.
I think it's something like the inland taipan is the most poisonous or something like that.
Yeah, but the chances of getting bitten by one surely are pretty minimal. all three of us have spent most of our lives out bush and never been bitten.
Yeah, but we're also aware of the danger that some of us are until did a little bit of research. But I've been, we get taught as kids, like if you see a snake, don't fucking try to touch it. Don't try to pick it up. Go get an adult. It's that awareness. So if you're from somewhere else, like international, coming over and you see a snake and you're a dickhead, you're gonna fuck with it, and then you're gonna get bit.
See, I don't think they're that hard to handle, really. I've seen one guy. He was bitten by a baby brownie, and
is their venom worse?
So
They don't know how
they don't know how to like control
regulate it, and they just strike repeatedly.
So an adult or a mature snake can dry bite you as a defense mechanism,
a warning shot.
Whereas a young snake can't control that. So this particular thing, he was actually a medic, and this snake, like the boys were seated getting a briefing, and there was this little baby brown snake in the bushes in amongst everybody. So obviously guys have cleared like a path, and the medics kicked it at like the bush a few times, and then the snake bit him. And to be honest, it was intense. Like I watched this dude, like 2 minutes, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, he's gone from normal to like just fucked.
Yeah, wow.
Like panting, couldn't breathe, vomiting, fucking shaking, sweating, like cold, clammy, just like within like 3 minutes, he was just, absolutely messed up. And then obviously he was in a pretty good hand, even though he was a medic. Everyone else in the army is obviously trained to deal with basically trained to deal with a snake bite. And then we got him into a car and got him back.
Wow. My old man got bitten by a white-tipped spider once. He didn't realise till afterwards. He's like, geez, my guts are hurting. Like lifted his shirt up and realised he'd been bitten by this white-tipped spider and started eating the flesh away.
How did they stop that?
I can't remember. Just pretty much, it was just antibiotics, really.
Because it's quite gory, isn't it? Like it just like it'll be there, and then a week it'll spread and eat.
Yeah, it just started spreading, and then the flesh started eating away. So I can't remember actually how they treated it, to be honest. But it's just had no idea it had happened. It just got in under his shirt and bit him, and then bang.
Yeah, that's
flesh eating
Australia.
I feel like that could happen to anyone because the spiders that we have everywhere.
Mate, we got like the redback as well.
Yeah, the red. I was bitten by a redback, man. It's the most painfulest thing I've ever.
Everyone thinks that like a lot of people think that the redback is the worst spider that we got, probably because it's the most famous.
But it's the most, like, I'm pretty sure, like, so there's actually, I've got to get this right, but there's a pain scale, and I think it's called
from meh to that fucking hurts.
It's an actual pain scale, and it's a doctor that's gone out and actually like got purposely been bitten by all these insects that and then rated it on a pain scale.
But that's subjective though, isn't it? Like, because everyone's pain tolerance would be different. So the scale in which
obviously, but like it's a severity of it. Like this dude, it's a full thing. I can't remember Schmidt. Oh, for some reason it's Schmidt, but I don't think it is.
Schmidt. You're just thinking of Schmidt and Bender.
No. It's oh shit! It's right on the tip of my tongue.
I have no idea. I'm doing some mad Googling and I can't find.
I will do
pain threshold tolerances, maybe. I don't know.
Examples of pain scales in adults: visual analog scale, verbal.
Schmidt sting pain index.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Schmidt. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure the guy's last name is Schmidt that did this, and yeah, the redback was pretty high up there.
Yeah. Intense. I've never been done by a redback. I've been done by bees, wasps.
You've been done by a wasp?
Yeah, man. Oh, that fucking hurt.
Really?
Yeah, that fucking hurt. My whole right arm blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was creeping over to my chest, and then
Just one bite.
one bite.
One sting, sorry.
Yeah, one sting. Yeah. Yeah, that was fucking painful, man. And it was like days. Like it didn't go down for like days, and then it was hurting the whole time. Like I could feel my pulse going through my arm.
Really?
Oh yeah, that was like it wasn't like just it was swollen to the point where I could feel my skin like be pressure being put against
like
my
stretch.
skin. Yeah, stretching. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hurt.
Did you put some stingos on it?
Nah, because I didn't realise what was going on because I was out on site. So I was like, oh, I should be right. It's just a scratch. Like, next minute, I've got like my arm's the size of a fucking balloon and I can't use it to do anything. I still work the whole day and then.
Did you do a ghosty with it?
A ghosty? Oh, nah. It feels like someone else. Fucking sausage fingers.
Oh, shit.
No, that leads me on to my take on the topic.
What,
actually.
phantom wanks?
Yeah, man. Favorite pastime. I'm writing an autobiography. I'll send you the first copy. Hey,
Instead of a recipe book, it's just
wanking
techniques.
Wanking techniques. Yeah. This one's called the Old Maid. Yeah.
I still reckon the best one I've seen is out of the in-betweeners when he's got like a fucking, I think it's like a cricket wicket-keeping gloves, some ham, some
goggles.
Just what the fuck?
That's the opening scene.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Let's face it, when you're
His mum
a
walks in
young male, you'll try anything to get
Between
it.
is great. Fucking
I
great.
think we could do a whole podcast on just weird
Bit of
shit we
ham.
tried.
Is that classed as bestiality if it's like ham?
Nah, or is that like what's it called when you like to fuck dead people?
Necrophilia.
Necrophiliac bestiality.
Yeah, really.
Because you I mean, it's
Well,
part of it. It depends if it was processed or not.
Is necro just
Necro's
for
dead.
humans or just dead?
Just dead.
Well, Ryan's correct. Like, but it's just flaps of meat. So
That's no way to talk
Yeah, but it's
about.
definitely bestiality because it's meat. It's an animal. It's an
I
animal
don't know.
product.
It's a real.
Or
like,
It's a grey area. Is it
a grey
okay?
area.
Are you trying to justify that? It's
that's.
all right?
I mean, that's drawing a long bow. Like if you use if you use lube that has any sort of animal product in it, then you could call that bestiality. That's ridiculous.
Like pig spit.
Yes, if they're harvesting pig spit and putting it in lube, if the active
you just get the
ingredient
pig
in
to spit on it
lube is
first.
pig spit, then it's bestiality.
Nah, isn't KY petroleum based?
I don't know.
KY lube.
I don't know. I don't need lube.
I don't know. Why are you asking? You always going dry.
That right there is the most fucking seedy little laugh.
Look at you
Stop
giggling in the
doing
corner
it.
over there.
It's fucking creepy.
Going dry.
It's unsettling.
What the fuck was that? You're not licking something there.
That was my impression of you.
Is that your jizz face? Is it?
All right, let's fucking
Just having a bit of a giggle while you
let's,
squirt.
let's move on.
If there's any listeners left at this point,
So what's your breakdown, Ryan?
So I want to talk about ants.
hang on. Can you make it better than last week, please?
What was last week?
Just a pile of shit.
Don't even remember what last
You
week
talked
was.
about World War II technology in weaponry.
I didn't mind that because I knew what you were talking about.
Again, I don't remember. I was well fucked.
Well,
There's no excuse. I just yeah. No excuse. Didn't I
would you
crash
like to
here?
listen to an hour?
No, that was like a
to
month ago.
hours.
You crashed here after a podcast.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm talking about last week. Hit or miss.
You
You talked about World War II. I actually edited like a 10-minute section out
is that because I just ran
from last week of just absolute shit. And if people think what we put out there is absolute drivel,
That's
this is
not even the lowest bar.
no. You should hear the shit that I take out sometimes.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was quite informative. I quite liked the military part.
I mean, yeah, we pulled it together. I put a bow on it and fucking
A bit of copy and
tidied
paste.
it up a bit.
Bit of lube on it.
Oh man, no, I want to talk about ants. So there's a couple of things. Ants in my pants. So have you guys
Solid start. Good.
Yeah, man.
Solid start. Come on.
Solid start. Ants. Have you ever used ants to clean a skull?
I have heard about doing that, yes.
I mean, not skull fucking ants, Josh, because I know you can do that.
No, like,
but I'm talking about ants to clean a skull. So it's like it's a method that's it's not fantastic, but it'll work. So usually it's I think it's fire ants over in America. They put on an ant hill, put a bucket over it, and then the ants will come and take away the meat. But after
you can do that here.
Yeah, you can do it anywhere. But
that reminds me, actually, I have a fellow deerhead sitting in the dirt.
Have you not done anything with that yet?
It's just been sitting there still.
Yeah.
How long has it been in the dirt?
Yeah, I should probably go pick that up.
Did you bury it?
Ew.
So it's just been sitting rancid in a plastic bag.
No, I took it out.
That'll be nice and tender.
Yeah.
The meat will just fall
Well,
off.
I was hoping that, like, you know, some nature would clean off the skin. And
Some
then
nature. Is it in a plastic bag?
No.
Oh, well, that was bringing me to another option is burying it. So I actually did that with the first red that I got. I buried it in the ground, and there's like beetles and bugs and all kinds of little creepy crawly motherfuckers that go in there and
Worms.
Yeah, I didn't realize how quickly it happens though. So I left it in there for 5 days, and it was a complete skull, like with a fair bit of meat on it.
With
Skin as well, or not?
No, I took the skin off. So I basically just used a butcher's knife just to cut off as much as I could. Like, did a pretty half-assed job about it, and then buried the skull up to the antlers, put a bucket over the antlers, and left it in there for 5 days. Came back, and it was like all the meat was gone, but the skull had deteriorated as well. So the cartilage was gone. I'll post a picture of it on Instagram of what's left of the skull. Well, that was a complete skull when I put it in the ground. So if you're going to put something in the ground to clean it, it definitely works, but just keep an eye on it, particularly on the type of dirt that you're putting it in for those playing at home. You know, if you're cleaning skulls. Anyway, I also want to talk about being bit by ants. You guys ever been bit by an inch ant?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
It fucking hurts.
it's fucking.
So this here, I'm going to show you. See that there? That's one.
For those playing at home,
For those playing at home, I'm just hiking up my
just showing a hint of leg.
blouse.
This was like the 1920s.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
You'd
well
be doing
ankle.
softcore porn.
I'm just a fucking
Softcore.
loose-
This is
loose
hardcore porn
unit.
right now. Seeing a glimpse of
Yeah,
ankles.
You see that? I'm touching, playing with my ankle bone right now.
I'm wildly erect at
Fucking
this
like
point.
that, don't. Dirty boy. So I got attacked by inch ants when I was digging a trench.
Hang on, bull ants or inch ants?
Inch ants, but
Actual
inch ants are a member of the bull ant family. So there's a couple of different varieties in Australia. So a bull ant can range like they've got a couple of different names as well, but they're all from the same. I think it's pronounced Mamertia is the species, and they can get up to 40 millimeters or 1.5 inches. They're just big motherfuckers, but they're venomous as well. So you get bitten by a big fucking ant.
An inch ant you're talking
Inch
about?
ant, yeah. Inch ants and bull ants. They've all actually got
bull ants.
Yeah.
Venomous
That's why
as well.
it hurts. That's why they got tiny little pincer things on them. It's not the pincer that hurts; it's the fucking venom that goes in. Yeah. So I got done up my leg, all the way up my leg, and I got done through my work pants on my inner upper thigh.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a mark there as well. So, it's actually rated as. So, in the Guinness World Records, the inch ant is one of the world's most dangerous ants, just because their venom's quite potent.
To be honest, man, I've been bitten by one twice now, and both occasions I was bitten about like 4 to 6 times on my lower back. And
that would hurt.
Man, and both times were in my swag because I hadn't done my zips up completely, and there was like an inch of the fly screen zip not done up. And I actually found the one ant that was in both times in my swag by an inch ant. And to be honest, obviously, like being bitten by a redback was worse, but having 5 on your lower back, man,
would
and
be
it
painful.
lasted longer than what you think an
Oh, yeah.
ant bite would last.
Yeah. Oh, my this is a week ago, and that's what's left. My whole lower leg swelled up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, my daughter's rabbit got bitten by an inch and it died. So,
What?
yes.
Really?
Yes. One of their pet rabbits, that's what bit it and it fucking died.
Really?
Yeah. Inch ant bite. So I'm not surprised it fucking hurt you.
Holy
man.
crap.
It's fucking painful, man. I mean, I came around because work pants and work boots, your cuff just goes over it. It's not like sealed, and we're digging a trench. Turns out we dug the trench straight through the enchant nest, and then I was standing in the trench, and then the little fuckers got up into my pants, and I was like, I had literally had ants in my pants. You should have seen me flailing around like a motherfucker.
How long did it last for you?
How long did it hurt for?
Like there was in my memory there was a period of like it was very, very bad, and then it sort of dropped to a mild pain, but you knew it was there.
Mine was like my whole leg. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand. I was fucked because I got done all at the same time.
Yeah.
And then my whole leg just went on fire for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh fuck this, just get on with it. Got back into the trench, and actually that's when I got bitten again on the other leg because I got back in the same fucking trench.
What?
Luckily, you didn't cop one on the doodle.
Yeah.
No, my dick's not that big, buddy. You'd have to go all the way up to my waistline to get to that bad boy.
Dig amongst the pubes.
Yep. It's like a forest in there at the moment, eh?
That's the natural protection of
Don't know.
the penis.
That's right. My natural defense mechanisms kicked in.
Retreat into the forest.
Yeah, that's it. Retraction.
It's now an innie.
I'm just picturing on the hangover when he jumps out the trunk, the Asian guy.
Oh yeah. He's got
That's all. That's what I'm picturing right now.
It's the bush.
Just the bush. There's a couple of different types. So you got the red bull ant, which is predominantly in Eastern Australia. The black bull ant, which is like throughout Australia, and the inch ant, which is around Australia as well. So like it's pretty full on. I think that Australia is doing pretty well for having the most fucked up creepy crawlies.
Have you seen those big ass ants with like fucking sugar in their assholes that the Aboriginals eat?
Green ants, man. I've eaten them and they taste fucking sweet.
You ate the ant's arsehole.
It's like bush tucker, man.
It's
You
the
eat-
abdomen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
In up north, you'll actually get green ants, and they're just like a normal front body of a little ant, but then they have a green abdomen, and you grab them and you squish their front of their body, like where their pincers and their main body is, and then you just suck their abdomen.
You suck their asshole.
This is gonna go.
What do you
down
do?
bad, right?
You're sucking their asshole.
Describe it to me in detail, Josh. I'm
Is it
hanging on every
sloppy?
word right now.
For fuck's sake,
Suck.
everything,
How many assholes have you licked?
everything comes down to sex.
How many times have you sucked out the sweet nectar?
But then you'll suck on the abdomen and it tastes sweet, man. It tastes like sugar.
Yeah. No, that's again for me. Bush tucker man's where I saw that. I've never experienced
Man,
it myself, but
That dude needs to make a comeback, eh? Bush
maybe we
tucker,
should
man.
get him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I reckon he'd love it. Actually, I reckon he'd have a hoot. You know who I'd love to have had on the podcast?
Who?
Fucking Malcolm
Douglas.
Douglas, mate. Yeah, R.I.P. mate.
Did he die?
Yes,
Fuck.
like a year or two.
Oh, no,
ago.
you've told me this. Sorry.
Yes.
He was your childhood hero.
Yeah, man. I used to watch him catching like barramundi up in what is it? Northwest Australia, the Kimberleys.
Oh, yeah.
And then he'd like catch shark. And I still remember one episode, he made a lure out of a 303 shell and some plastic bag, and he'd sit there and he'd catch barramundi with it all day long up in the Pilbara. Not the Pilbara, up in
Kimberley.
the Kimberleys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smashing.
Sorry to digress.
Nah,
There
you're
you
right.
go.
It's all right. That's what we do.
We're on to the ND.
Well, in that case.
ND.
Indeed.
Negligent discharge.
That was very sudden, and I wasn't ready for it because I've got ND this week. So this week on our Instagram, I posted a post of.
You posted a post.
I posted a picture, of old Poiter, my father. So he's been mentioned a few times on the podcast, and look, he's a great dude. But on the post, I just said, it's good to get out hunting with your dad. This fella's responsible of running over a few feet in his time out spotlighting when we were hunting as young kids and when we were adults.
I feel like it's a select club, actually.
A select,
like people that have had their feet run over by Poiter.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's growing, isn't it?
It grows exponentially.
Club's getting bigger every year.
We get together.
I think we've learned not to let him drive anymore.
It's a support group. We get together periodically.
The group provides crutches for newcomers.
Discuss the injuries. Yeah.
Anyway, one of these people that my father ran over his foot is a mutual friend of everyone here, and that's Chris Heenan. Shout out to Chrissy boy. Hopefully he listens. I don't know if he does.
Hopefully he's still alive over there in America.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's
in
doing all right
Texas, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's.
No, that's a pretty good state to be
Golden
in.
State.
Pretty sure he's doing fine in Texas. Anyway, shout out to you, Chrissy. So a comment was made. He made a comment. He was like, I'm the owner of one said foot. And it brought back a few childhood memories. And one of them, so there was three major things apart from him getting run over. One, I think it was one evening, he went to take a piss. Now, obviously, electricity can't go, travel through, your piss stream. But he still got zapped because I think his dick touched the wire.
Does he have an exceptionally long foreskin?
Or he's into some shit, man. He's into some weird shit. And he was just like, yeah, I want some of that.
But he got fucking done real bad. And I just remember this shrieking hail from this area of where the fence was. And I look over and Chris is on the ground, just holding his crutch. And as if that wasn't bad enough anyway, actually there's another thing that I'll mention this week. I've had a few good times with Chris out hunting over the years. Another one was, so when we would go away, we would always try and pack as light as we could with our personal items. So Chris, I don't know, he saw fit to only bring one pair of pants with him, and that was his hunting pants. And he also had his thermal pants on. Anyway, whilst we were out hunting, I think it was the same trip that he got electrocuted. He was crossing a fence and tore his jeans. Tore them from crutch to I don't know what he was doing. I don't even know how you do this. But crutch to fucking ankle, tore his jeans wide open. And then as the days progressed, we're all just fucking grab his pants and fucking pull them and just rip them more and shit. Anyway.
My old man used to do that. Every time you get a hole in your pants, he'd just come along and just rip
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
terrible.
So your jeans would become shorts.
Yes,
and then they'd become stubbies, and then they become G-strings.
He already had his own.
Anyway, so poor Chrissy didn't have any pants, and we were going into town because where we were hunting up in Black Rock, it's gets 50 degrees in the shade. So during the day, we'd go to town and we'd go have a pub feed and stay in the air conditioning because it was just too hot some days to hunt. And poor Chrissy didn't have his pants, had no pants. So we made him go to the pub with these ripped jeans were like chaps. There was two pieces to them and they were just flailing about. And so we made him go to the pub with these fucking ripped jeans. He looked like a goof. But there was an annual fucking bike event that would go through Peterborough. Or I don't know if it was annual, but there was a bunch of bikies they weren't bad. I don't even know what bad.
They weren't affiliated.
Just a motorcycle club.
Motorcycle club would come
Just
through.
not outlaw.
Yeah. And so he's walking in amongst all this pub with all these fucking old cronies sitting there. And he just looks like something that's come out of the Village People. Oh, dear.
Awkward.
Yeah. Having said that, old Couchy's ripped a pair of pants the other trip as well. Actually, starting to be a bit of a common trait.
Yeah, that's when he bought his Hunter's Element.
Yeah,
But he had cash in hand, so I think that's why he splashed out.
Yeah.
He upgraded his Wish camo pants for some Hunter's Element.
and he only had cash on hand because you bought his binos.
Yes, because he got sent an extra pair for free.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just he shits me. He
That
gets
dude
little-
lucks out and everything, eh?
He does. Like, I'll order one pair of binos off eBay and get sent a second pair accidentally for free.
That's not a bad thing.
And then he's made cash off me.
I mean, I'd do the same thing.
I know. I mean, I couldn't turn up the offer because I wasn't going to get them that cheap anywhere else. So,
That's it.
That's cool.
And you are a
Win-win.
stinge.
hey, I've come out with the same binos as him, cheaper than him.
Do you have Jewish
Except-
heritage by any chance? Like,
0%. Nah, Scottish. Scottish is a fucking tight asses, man. Notoriously.
are they?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There you go.
You are a tight ass. I think you still have the same fucking flannelette that you had when you were like 11.
No, I retired that last few weeks actually.
Oh, really?
The green one.
The green ones.
What?
No.
Nah,
No, I had a ceremony.
that's
and
blasphemous.
Yeah. Ceremony.
Jeez.
everything. Finally ripped, and I'm like, no, it's done now.
That is blasphemous. You
Didn't
should
even try to
you
patch it
should
up.
get your missus
It's-
to sew it up.
No, it was that fragile. The material's so old that I put it in the washing machine, and the washing machine is what tore it apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, ripped clothes is a common theme for the ND
Yeah, it's
this
making a
week.
comeback, man.
Yeah. I was going to mention that actually. You know, before clothes got popular that had like tears in them and things. So,
Designer rips.
yeah, designer rips and that.
I just like to think everyone's been in a bear fight.
Actually, like I was going to mention this before. So one trip I was out with Chris and he had this T-shirt that we strung up on the old clothesline out the back of Len's place, and we've shot it with the 12 gauge, and it was actually in passing comment. Now this is before stylish ripped clothes came out. We actually made a joke after it, and we were like, "Oh, I bet you this will be in fashion in like the next few years." And boom, it was.
Yeah, because there's those fucking stupid shirts with like the holes in it that
Yeah.
looks like a shotgun's hit them.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's your $1 million idea you passed up, mate.
Mate, I was like
Do you reckon-
fucking 14.
You reckon it's just like a supplier who had just a real bad infestation of like silverfish, and then
Yeah,
they're
some
like,
moths or something.
Yeah,
it
some
was like,
moths
fuck,
that
I
they're
got to
like,
sell
fuck.
And
these.
it's like, how are we going to sell these factory seconds? Oh, I know. We'll make it a thing.
Yeah,
We'll put it on the summer line in Fashion Week.
yeah.
Yeah,
People aren't aware being played.
that's right. Meanwhile, some redneck when the 12 gauge came on with the idea.
Yeah, like 80 years ago.
Just ridiculous.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, oh, jeez, you've dressed up for today. What you talking about in my everyday clothes?
Please don't ever do that again.
Don't talk about wow.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I think we're done this week.
Yeah.
We're done?
What's next week, Caleb?
Well, next week, we're going to have our last episode of season 2.
Oh, yeah, 20 episodes.
We're going to go on a short little break just to refresh, recharge, have some day spas, relax
I'm
by the
definitely
pool.
having
No,
a
not at all.
bud.
We're just gonna have a short little break, guys. Little hiatus just to put a few new plans in place. Come back bigger and better for season 3.
Yeah.
We have some cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm inspired, Joshua.
Cool stuff.
What do you want me to say?
You want some of that cool stuff?
We have some cool stuff coming. No, we do. We've got bigger and better stuff for you guys next season. So.
Be sure to tune
Yeah, only a short break. You won't miss us for too long. So, yeah, we'll make sure we keep interacting with you guys on social media. But, yeah, next week will be our final week of season 2.
And if you've got any ideas for episode titles, definitely flick them our way. We are currently in the process of doing our, I don't know what the word is, programming, scheduling, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for next season. So if ladies and gentlemen, listeners, for those playing at home, if you have any ideas of what you want us to break down for our own interpretation, send it through to us.
You got to send us a topic, a title, and then we're going to break it down. So get weird and wacky, get funky, get crazy.
Get weird and wacky.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, shit.
Get sexual, get deviant, get weird,
We're just
get
going to get porn sent
wacky.
to us now. It's just going to be.
Someone's going to
dibs.
suggest Pornhub.
Yeah, Pornhub is an episode. I like to think that we incorporate Pornhub in pretty much every episode anyway. So it's like a blanket.
No, we haven't done that for weeks.
Actually, we've been good. There's
we?
been no mention of Pornhub for a long time.
Oh, that's why I felt like there's been something missing in my life.
Did you just forget Pornhub was a thing?
Stop
You've
using-
just been sitting at home with a newspaper going, oh, geez, that's a challenging one.
No, it's not newspaper. It's
Well,
Women's Weekly, mate. He's got Women's Weekly.
No, because I use incognito. It doesn't save my history search, so I'll just forget about it.
But why? Why do you not need to say?
Why do you have to be incognito?
Because it feels
You
dirty
live by
if I
yourself.
don't.
You live by yourself right now.
It adds to the appeal of having a crank. You're like, oh, I'm being naughty.
If the people that don't live with me ever find out.
You ever get this feeling like someone's watching at all times? Like there's a camera
Jesus,
somewhere.
Jesus is
Oh,
watching.
man. At
He's
my
always
place, right?
watching.
So my place doesn't have curtains. It's just got those security shutters. So at night time, and at night, it's like hard to tell if the security shutter is down when the light's on because it reflects off.
Fuck.
So and my bedroom is like there's like floor to ceiling window in the front room of the house where my bedroom is. So from the street, I've been trekking around in the nud for like a good couple of hours and then realised the fucking shutters are up.
Oh, I've done that here. I've done that here. Like just because normally 90% of the time the front roller shutter is down on the bedroom window. And then one night I didn't realise, and I was just walking around. I got out of the shower, walked around.
Yeah.
I'm like, the neighbours across the road
Yeah, man.
Can finally be the
I'm surrounded
exhibitionist
by
I've always wanted.
retirees, so old Gladys across the road like copped me. Like I'm just like trekking around, did a little
She's
bit of
been bashing
helicopter,
herself over
little bit,
you.
you know.
She's probably sitting at a kitchen table with an Earl Grey going, oh, geez, that young bloke across the road, that's quite a...
The new young fella in the streets quite rich,
She's
isn't he?
definitely blown some cobwebs off the old lads, mate. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Blown some cobwebs.
Oh man!
All right, man, I'm fucking done.
Tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen, for the last episode of this season. Definitely keep hitting us up on the Instagram. Thank you very much for the feedback. If you have any titles, send them through.
We would love titles.
Anyway, I've been Ryan.
I'm Josh.
And I've been Caleb.
You're a bit slow there. Had to jump in. Catch you later, motherfuckers!
Catch ya.
Peace.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.